Good morning, everybody. It's morning where I am, and I wanted to welcome you to this introduction to Ashtanga video. I'm going to give you a moment to get set up. You can see that I have here a chair, and then I will be using some blocks. So if you have those props that are really helpful, it doesn't need to be a specific yoga chair. If you have something like a dining room chair without arms, as long as it's stable and can bear weight, hopefully if it's a chair, then it's able to bear your weight, then that should work just fine. One of the things about the practice of Ashtanga is that it can seem pretty intimidating, but Ashtanga shouldn't be any different than quote unquote regular yoga, and that it meets you where you are. So as we go through today, I'm going to show you a lot of the modifications and variations that we can use to make the practice more accessible. The thing for me personally when I was practicing it was that I was experiencing, I came into Ashtanga with a lot of lower back issues, and then a knee that had some stability issues, and I kept hearing your core is weak, your core is weak. This was not the case. And so what I want you guys to be really aware of is as you practice, if you are experiencing low back pain, this is the thing that we need to be most conscious of. And so I'm going to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy on the cues to make sure that this is our number one priority, that we're keeping the low back safe, and that we're practicing in a way that is sustainable over a long period of time. You might survive the class, but if you're not able to keep coming back to it, then it's really not going to serve its purpose in the long run. So let's get started. What I want you to do is to, hopefully you've had some time to go through a warm-up ahead of time. So I always take my students to the joints. I'm going to list that separately so you guys can do that on your own. So we're just going to jump right into the practice. So standing at the top of your mat, let's set everything up to begin with. What I'd like you to do is to take your feet together. So we're going to start on the baby toe side. You can see here, these are my toes, I'm wiggling. I'm going to pour the weight into the middle. Now from here, I'm going to flip sideways so that you guys can see. Once I've plugged down into my big toes, I'm going to find my hip bones here. What I want to do is see how my butt's kind of sticking out behind me. I want to push my hip bones forward so that my hips are situated under my shoulders without going so far and tucking my tailbone. You see how that shape got really round here? So we need to find that happy medium. So again, roll from the baby toe into the big toe. Find your hip bones, push them forward. We've set the lower body. Now let's go into the upper body. I want you to find the front of your shoulder heads here. Take a big roll on the inhale. Exhale, drop the hands down. So whenever I say home base, this is what I'm referring to. We've got even weight distribution in the feet, we've got a little bit of lift in the chest, and that the hips are kicking forward underneath of us. So we're going to go through what's called the sun salutation. There are two different variations, sun salutation A and sun salutation B. Both of them are going to go through 3 times each. So inhale, we're going to take the arms overhead. Exhale. Now this is super important here. I want you to take the chin into the chest first. I'm going to support my body weight at my legs, and then I'm going to switch it over to the chair. So the chair is going to support my upper body, which is going to allow me to drop my head in. Notice here, let's do a quick checkpoint. Everybody lift up your toes. Send your hips behind you. Keeping the legs as they are, I'm going to grab the sides of the chair, roll the shoulders around, and I'm going to pull my sternum towards the back support on the chair. Exhale. From here, I'm going to lower my knees, and I'm going to make my way either through a half push-up or not, just all the way onto the belly. From here, I want you to make sure that we're initiating from the shoulders. So I'm going to take a big roll here. I'm going to squeeze my elbows together, and I'm actually going to lift my hands off of the floor so we know that we're not giving any pressure to the wrists. Let's do this a couple of times. We're going to roll the shoulders, squeeze the elbows. Imagine touching your elbows together behind you. Exhale, dig your toenails down into the floor. Again, inhale, roll the shoulders, elbows squeeze together. Exhale, push your toenails. One more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders, elbows together. Exhale, plant your hands, come through a tabletop here, and I'm going to switch my hands back over to the chair. From here, we're going to be doing a downward facing dog using the chair to support the upper body again. So I'm going to talk you through this first down dog here. What I want you to notice is that my knees are super bent. We get into this misconception that down dog equals straight legs. I've been practicing for many years and I rarely practice with straight legs. So go the opposite direction. I want you to take an inhale, wind the knees way up into the chest. Now, pushing against the chair, you're going to push your butt backwards from the hands. If the heels drop, that's fine, but I don't want you to feel like you're pulling behind the knees to straighten out here. Let's do that self-adjustment a couple more times. Inhale, wind the knees up into the chest. Exhale, from the hands pushing into the chair, your butt goes behind you. 2 more like that. Inhale, knees into the chest. Exhale, push it back. 1 more. Exhale. Keep your hands at the chair. Inhale, walk the feet in. Knees are bent, hips are behind. Inhale. My chest, again, pulls towards the chair. Exhale. You can keep the hands here or go elbow to elbow. Drop your head in, bend your knees a little bit more. Inhale, arms come up. Head is absolutely last. Exhale, home base. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, support yourself at the legs, tuck the chin, round the upper back. From here, inhale, roll the shoulders, chest forward. Notice my butt's behind me, my knees are soft. Exhale, lower down, all the way to the belly. And just 1 time this time. Inhale, roll the shoulders, elbows together, hands lift, press your toenails. Exhale, through the tabletop, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Now, if you have any issues with the knees where you're not able to take weight, feel free just to go from that half lift straight back into the down dog. Skip that transition on the belly in between. We're going to stay here for 4 more breaths. Inhale, knees are soft. Exhale, put all of your effort into pushing the hands into the chair. I want you to feel like your arms are as long as possible here. If the neck is okay with it, you can drop the head in. 2, 1. Inhale, walk the feet in. Knees stay soft. Chest forward. Exhale, elbow to elbow, or keep the hands as they are. Drop the head. Notice how my belly is touching my legs. Let your lower body support you. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, home base. 1 more. Sun Salutation A. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, head down. Inhale, sides of the chair, chest forward. Exhale, onto the belly. Plant the toenails. Inhale, elbows together, hands up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, pull your hips behind you. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, walk your feet in. Knees soft, chest up. Exhale, relax the upper body on the chair, drop the head. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, home base. So Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B, is just kind of an expanded version of that with a couple variations. So bringing the feet together again, just in that same home base, what I'd like you to do is to take your hands to the waist, and you're going to push your butt backwards. Now, when the knees start to bend, I want you to glue the knees together. Your feet might want to go out. There's a lot of different things that people do here, but just keep squeezing the knees together. Inhale, lift the toes up. Squeeze the elbows together. Exhale, push your heels down into the floor. Inhale, elbows together. Exhale, push your heels. One more time. Inhale, elbows together. This is our chair pose. Exhale, support yourself with the chair, forward fold. Inhale, roll the shoulders, eyes up. Notice I still stay soft in my knees, my hips are behind me. Exhale, make your way down to the belly, maybe through a plank pose or not, lower. Plant the toenails. Inhale, squeeze the elbows, no hands. Exhale, come through the tabletop. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Now, let's check in. If we start to take the hands away and we're quite wobbly, what I want you to do, and I'm going to turn to face the camera so you guys can see this, this is the width of my mat. Typically, we tend to go quite narrow and we step back. What I'd like you to do instead is to take your back toes to the left side of the mat and your front toes out to the right. So let yourself go as wide as you need here. Let's do the same arm variation. Inhale, roll the elbows together. I'm in a high lunge here. This is our warrior one. Exhale. We're going to skip the stuff on the belly in between and just use down dog to transition. Feet step back. Second side. Step the left foot forward. So you decide how wide the feet should be in order for you to feel stable. If you feel fine here, then you just challenge yourself by narrowing the stance. Hands to the hips. Inhale, elbows together. Exhale. Again, we're going to skip all the stuff on the belly. Let's go right into downward facing dog. Again, inhale, wind up the knees into the chest. Exhale, full push through the hands. Make your spine as long as possible. 3 more breaths here. 2. 1 more. Inhale, walk the feet in, soft knees, chest up. Exhale, forward fold on the chair, relax the head. Keep the hips behind you. We're going to go right into that squat, hands to the waist. Inhale, try to squeeze your elbows together behind you. This is our chair pose. Exhale, push through the feet. We're back in standing. Find your home base. Let's go right into another round. Hands to the waist, hips behind you, knees together. Inhale, chest up, elbows in. Exhale, forward fold on the chair. Keep the hips behind you as you inhale, lift the chest. Make sure you roll the shoulders to get your chest as far forward as you can. Exhale, come down, all the way to the belly. Inhale, roll the elbows, press the toenails, chest forward. Think long in this pose rather than high. Exhale, downward facing dog with the chair, step right. Hands to the waist. Make sure you're stable. Fully pushing the back leg. Right knee is slightly bent. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps. Hands to the waist. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, hands to the chair. Down dog. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring the feet in. Roll the shoulders, chest up. Exhale, forward fold with the knees bent. Hands to the waist. Inhale, elbows in, chest up.
Take a look down. Make sure you can still see your knees. If not, your butt's got to push just a little bit further back. Exhale. Press through the feet. Home base. One more round. Let's do it. Hands to the waist. Sit back. Chest up. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Legs stay exactly as they are. Only the upper body changes. We roll the shoulders. Chest goes through. Exhale. Through tabletop or through plank. Down to the belly. Plant the toenails. Roll the shoulders. Hands up. I want to feel like I'm trying to touch my elbows behind me still. Exhale. Down dog. Step right. So we have the distance wide enough that we're stable. From here, take the hands to the waist. Inhale, chest up. The more you push in the back leg, the more stable you will be. Again, it's fine for the heel to lift. Exhale. Step the front foot back. Left foot forward. Find your stability in your feet. Both feet are actively pushing. Inhale, elbows come in. Exhale, down dog. 2, 3 more breaths. Inhale, walk the feet in, chest up, half lift. So if I reference a half lift, this is a shape we're making. Exhale, forward fold, drop the head. Inhale, sit back. Notice I stay in my squat, knees together, elbows behind. Exhale, press through the feet, home base. So we come into 2 forward folding postures. I'm going to give you some options like always. The really important thing, I'm going to show you how we are not going to do it, and then we'll talk about how we should do it. What I don't want is for the knees to lock out and for there to be all of this roundness, I guess it doesn't make a difference shirt or not, all of this roundness in the pelvis. What I want to start with is the hands on the chair. Lift the knees up. Push your butt behind you. You can see that this goes from flat to almost scooped out. That's what we want. Now from here, if it's available to you, the traditional hook is to hook the big toes. That may be available, that may be a long ways away. If it's a long ways away and we can't reach without adjusting the shape of the spine, then we're just gonna stay right here. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, sit the weight back. Let the head drop. Forward fold. 5 breaths here. Now, because we don't have the hooks, it's kind of hard to tap into the big toes, but you can see them. I want you to exhale, dig your big toes down. Inhale. Exhale. Again, push your big toes. Exhale, big toes. One more. Inhale, roll the shoulders, eyes up. Again, if we don't know what's going on with the pelvis, just reach back and feel it. Make sure that you should be able to balance a plate here. It shouldn't slip off down towards the floor. Okay, let's take another breath. Inhale, roll the shoulders, chest up. Exhale. Again, we would transition now into the hands under the feet. If that's available, that's where you want to go. If we still have a long ways away, we just stay here until we do reach that. Hands or forearms, sit the hips back. Now, what I want you to do is look at the feet again. Roll the weight to the baby toe side. Inhale. Exhale, roll the weight in towards the big toe. Lock down. Inhale, roll to the baby toe side. Exhale, push to the big toe side. Inhale, baby toe. Exhale, big toe. Keep it here. 2 more breaths. Inhale, eyes up. Exhale, hands to the waist, keep the knees soft. Head is absolutely last. Exhale, back to the home base. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip around so that I'm going to open up wide on my mat. So with the Ashtanga Vinyasa sequence, we always initiate the action from the right side, whether it be the arm or the leg. So we're going to take a big step out with the right foot. So the same principle applies here. If I have any sort of instability, all I've got to do is widen my feet on the mat like so. And I'll show it to you this way. So rather than that traditional cue of heel to arch, this is not realistic for the majority of people. Even with heel to heel, again, throw it away. If it doesn't serve you and how your hips are set, you're not going to get the benefit. Rather, take the toes forward, take that other foot, and you can see how wide my feet are here. Okay, and then I just spread it out long on the mat. So play around with that for a moment. Find a place where you feel stable. Then we're going to inhale, the arms up. Exhale. I'm going to lunge my knee towards the chair. Let me get a little bit closer here. Now, what I want to do is to plant my hand. Look at your knee. Inhale, roll the knee out. And then what we're going to do is take a self-adjustment here. Grab the inside of your thigh. I'm trying to keep my leg stuck, but my thigh is pulling so much, it's moving. Once you found your maximum, where you stay in that line without collapsing in, we're going to plant the hand. Second hand, grab your hip bone. As if this had a handle, peel yourself open. Hand to the hip or hand to the ear, wherever there's no strain in the low back. Let's go ahead and look down at the chair. 5 breaths. 4, 5. Inhale, bring it up. We're going to pivot to the opposite side. So switching the feet, again, adjusting the stance to where it makes sense in terms of you being able to stand up without feeling wobbly. Then I'm going to switch this chair over. From here, just so we understand the traditional transition is to pivot from right to left, and then next round we'll do something a little bit different. Okay, so same process here. I want you to go arms like a T, and then let's take a moment and think about what's happening with this back leg. Go ahead and give it some slack. Let it bow here. And I'm going to turn here so you can see the shape of my knee. Now what I need you to do is to press through the heel and see how that leg starts to straighten. That's what needs to happen here. Full push through that back leg. Lunge. Inhale. Pull the knee out to the left side. Grab the thigh, pull it back. A little or a lot. It is not necessary for that leg to be straight. Second hand goes to the hip like a handle. Inhale, peel yourself open. Exhale, look down at that bottom hand. Inhale, keep pulling the knees slightly out to the side. Exhale, dig deep into that back foot. Notice if that shoulder's creeping up. Exhale, pull it around. 2. Give me a little bit more gas in that back leg. Keep it strong. Inhale, bring it up. Okay, so because I'm using a chair, we're just going to stay on one side rather than pivoting side to side. Again, know that that was for demonstration purposes, so you know once you get into a class, once you come see me in person, that's how the transition will go. We do volley side to side. From here, I'm going to turn to face my chair. Right foot is forward, left leg is back. We're going to lunge forward. Now again, notice how my back heel is up. This is perfectly appropriate here, but I do want the knee fully extended. Exhale, lunge the knee towards the chair. Notice if the the heel is lifting. Drop it down. Inhale, pull back a little or a lot, so long as the hips stay level. Stay here for 4 breaths. Usually it's this left hip. If that's happening, all you got to do is bend the front knee more. Take this hand and put it down. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, stay with it. Exhale, plant the hands, switch the feet. Find the width that is stable. Inhale, chest up. Exhale. Let's start with that. Take the hand to that right hip, and I want you to curl the hip down towards the mat. Let the front knee bend. Again, if you want to lift the heel, if that feels like you can generate some more power, absolutely, that's what you should do. Stay here. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Inhale, bring it up. Again, we're going to switch the feet. We're changing postures, coming into side angle. Set your feet up so you're stable. Back foot to the front foot to the back. From here, same as the first posture we started with, we've got that long reach towards the chair. What I want you to do here, we're going to stay in a 90-degree angle. Let the knee touch. Let the toenails be underneath of the seat. Now, what I want you to do is to pull the knee out towards the wrist. See if you can touch. If you can't, what I need you to do with that back foot is to step clockwise. And that'll help turn the knee out to the side a little bit more. From here, inhale, pull your hip open, pull your ribs open, and then come up here to the collarbone as well. Self-adjust here. Look down at the bottom hand. We're here for 5, 4, 'Stay for the inhale. Find your feet. Then we start to bring it up. Switch sides. So same process. I'm going to lock out that back leg. I'm going to get a full push into the lunge. Now, if the knee is collapsing in and I'm not able to reach my wrist, all I got to do now is go a little bit counterclockwise so the knee can roll out. From here, top hand, grab the hip bone, peel it open, grab the ribs, peel it open, grab the collarbone, peel it open. Eyes to the hand on the chair. 4, 3 more breaths. So in yoga, we need at least 5 breaths in order to get the benefits out of the postures. So don't rush, take your time. Inhale, make sure you're stable. Bring it up. Okay, switch it out. Options. Coming into a low lunge. Let me turn this way. From the low lunge, my opposite hand, so this is my right knee in front, I'm going to grab the side of the thigh with my left. Take my other hand to my pelvis. If this is a lot of pressure on the back knee, I recommend either getting a pillow or you can just stay with the high lunge here. So I'm going to demonstrate with the high lunge. What I'd like you to do is to take that right hand to your pelvis. The left hand goes in front of that front leg. Inhale, start to turn your chest away from the chair to the right. 5 breaths. So check in here. If there's any discomfort in the low back, it means that we're kind of swinging off to the right rather than twisting. Grab your ribs, pull yourself around. Keep pushing your butt behind you. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back to the center. Left leg goes forward. So this is from a lunging position. Again, coming into a low lunge, taking it across like so, or working with the high lunge and then just taking the hand across in front of that opposite knee. Exhale, press down into your points of contact. I'm digging into my back leg and into my front foot, twisting the ribs around. 3. Guys, notice how I'm keeping my face down. This is going to help alleviate any discomfort in the neck. 2. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Take the hands back to the chair. Bring yourself upright. So now we're going to come into some lateral stretches here. I want you to take a big step. Again, no specific numerical markers for this. Big can mean that the feet are under the wrist. If that feels like it's really kind of maxing you out, all you got to do is narrow. From here, take the hands to the waist. Inhale, chest up. Exhale. I'm going to tuck my chin, and same thing. I'm just going to take my hands to the chair here. Now, if you can bend your knees a little bit more, maybe we can get the forearms down. Okay. So with the forearms, inhale, stretch, roll the shoulders around. I'm stretching my chest towards the back of the chair. Exhale. I'm going to sit my weight back and let my head go. Now, we're going to stay here for 5 breaths, but I'm going to cue you some stuff to do with the feet. Exhale. Dig the big toes down into the floor. Imagine you're trying to stamp the floor with that print. Inhale. Peel your knees open, just a hair. Exhale. Dig the big toes again. Inhale. Open the knees slightly. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Open. Exhale. Big toes. Inhale. Open the knees. Last breath here. Hands support you at the chair. Keep the buoyancy in the knees. Inhale, roll the shoulders. Eyes forward. Exhale, support yourself out the chair. Guys, this is critical here. Keep the knees soft. Inhale, curl up. Head is absolutely last. Arms like a T. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll the elbows together. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the upper back, forward fold. Now, this one traditionally is unsupported. So what you can do is you can take a block under the head, like so. But again, we want to make sure that the weight stays behind us. Otherwise, if it feels like you're loading a lot in the low back, just take your hands to the chair again. It's there, might as well use it. Three more breaths. One more. Keep the buoyancy in the knees. Curl up. Head is absolutely last. Inhale, arms like a T. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, roll the shoulders. Try to stretch the elbows here. Exhale, tuck the chin. So notice my butt is trying to push into my hands here. And again, a little more. Eventually we get way over, right? So piece by piece. 1, 2. The important thing is just making sure that we take care of our backs for the long run. 4, 5. Strong in the feet, pushing down. Inhale, curl up. Roll the shoulders at the top. Exhale, hand to the waist. Inhale, chest up. Exhale. So I want you to take your hands to your thighs this time. Options here. Number 1, we hang on the thighs. Number 2, elbow to elbow here. 3, we grab the ankles. 4, we reach down and we hook those big toes. Inhale, roll the shoulders, eyes forward, either with the hooks or with the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Again, any loading in the low back, any hint of discomfort, I really need you to support that weight either with the arms or with the chair. If you're good to go and you got your belly up against your legs, go for it. Go for the big toes. Let the head go. 3. Can you give it just a little bit more gas in the big toes? 4, 5. Sneak around this chair. Inhale, eyes up. Exhale, support yourself on the way. Tuck the chin. Come on up. Exhale. Home base. Let's just take a moment here. Reset. So we're still going to be using the chair. I'm going to have you take the right foot forward and the left foot back. Hang on to the chair here. Now, your options. We're going to lunge forward. We're going to pull the hips back. You are welcome to adjust, either holding on to the hamstring, or if you can find this bone here at the base of the pelvis, what I want you to do is imagine flipping it up. So this is going to keep that scoop in the low back, which is how you're going to keep your low back comfortable. From here, we are welcome to stay at the chair. Otherwise, you're welcome to take your hands to the waist. Roll your elbows together. 5. If there's any discomfort in the low back, I need you to take your hands to the chair. 4. Keep squeezing the elbows if your hands are at your waist. 3, 2, one more deep breath. Inhale, head is last. Switch it out. Same process. I'm going to support my upper body with the chair. Big push with that back leg, lunge. Now from here, I want you to find your hamstring or your sit bone. Resist back and up. Exhale. You can let the head go, or you can challenge the support in the lower body by taking the hands to the waist. Any discomfort in the low back, it means that the pelvis is dumping backwards, and I need you to get it forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it up. Bring it back to home base. Let me get this mic under control. Okay, guys, so coming into our standing balances, the most important part with this is that we have a solid foundation. What I'm going to have you do is to flip the chair around so that you're able to use this for just a little bit of extra stability. Again, if you're working without a chair, feel free to go to the wall. First things first, look at your left foot, identify left from right. That's where we start. Spread out your toes. Now, if they don't move at all, that's fine. This is a muscle just like our bicep. It takes training. If you've never articulated that, it's not going to happen today. It's just going to happen with practice. Now, take a look at the foot. I need you to make sure that the side of the foot, the baby toe side, is parallel with the mat. Our neutral standing position is about at a 45-degree angle. So, side of the foot lined up with the side of the mat. From here, let the knee go soft. And I'm, again, going to turn to the side so you can see this. Exhale. Find that hip bone. Push it forward. Inhale. Suck the kneecap up. So now we have one solid standing leg. From here, I need you to bring the right leg up to you. Notice how the toes are carrying themselves. Inhale. Leg carries itself. So if you're stable, you're welcome to grab the front of the knee. Exhale, push down to the standing foot. 3, touch and go. 4, 5. Holding the chair or holding the inner thigh, roll to the outside. Keep that hand at the hip bone. I need you to keep pushing the hip bone into the fingertips. Again, I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see it. Inhale, roll that bent knee out. Exhale, push the hip bone, push the floor. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, push the hip bone. 3, 4, 5. From here, with the chair or not, point the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Just so I can stay oriented towards the camera, I'm going to flip this over, but guys, feel free just to turn around. So setting up the second side, taking a look at the pinky toe, making sure that it's parallel with the side of the mat. So it will feel slightly pigeon-toed. That's normal. Spread the toes out, maximum surface area here. Give yourself slack in that knee. Find the hip bone. Exhale. Push it forward. Inhale. Sure, this sounds great in the mic. Suck the kneecap up. One solid standing leg. Inhale. Bring the leg to you. So yes, you have the chair for stability, but I want you to avoid is hanging on it. Touch and go. Maybe just one pinky. 3. Keep pushing that hip bone forward. 4. 5. Inhale, open to the side, holding the knee or the inner thigh. 5. Standing leg and hip bone. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, bring it back with the chair or not. 5. 4. 3. 2. Inhale. Exhale. So a little pro tip here. I've doing double duty on the mat. This feels great when we're, seated or when we're on our belly, but it's terrible when we're trying to balance. So the firmer surface you can find, the better it's going to be, the more stable you're going to feel. And that's a general rule throughout. The firmer the surface, the more stability. Okay, moving forward. Couple of options in this half pigeon. Number 1, if safety stuff, we really need to make sure that there's no discomfort either on the inside part of the knee or the outside part of the knee. This is where we tend to compensate. The other issue is in the ankle. So what I want you to do is to make a huge circle. I don't know if you guys can hear me popping, but I'm just trying to max out all the space that's available by rolling in a circle rather than coming straight over. So support yourself, circle. Option 1 is to cross the legs like you're sitting in a chair. It's fine if the toes don't hook. Just squeeze the legs together. From here, push your butt backwards. If you look down, you should be able to lift your toes. Stay here for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, bring it up. I lied, I was going to give you 2 options, but I just think this is the best one to get you oriented and get you working into this posture. Second side, big circle with the hip. Cross the legs, sit into it. So inhale, squeeze the knees together. Lift your standing toes. Exhale, push your butt behind you. 1, 2, 3 more. Make sure that you're keeping the weight in that heel. Knees stay glued. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, set it down, home base. So I'm going to take this back to the original side. We're going to go through the warrior sequence. So I'll give you some, we're going to stop in the middle of those poses and do some fine tuning. Set your home base. Big toes are pushing. Sternum is lifting. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, head down. Supporting yourself with your own body, belly to the legs, or with the chair. Inhale, roll the shoulders, eyes forward. Exhale, coming to the belly or not, through tabletop or through plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, make sure you're striking through the toenails. Roll the elbows together. Think long here. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Walk the feet in. We're going right into that squat. into that chair pose. So I'm going to start with my toes lifted to make sure that my weight is behind me. Hands to the hips, knees together. Inhale. Roll the shoulders, elbows together. Now, if you can maintain your foundation here, I'm going to give you another option with the arms, and that's to come elbow to elbow. If there's a lot of space here, you're better off staying here and pulling back until we have that space accessible. With this elbow to elbow variation, shrug the shoulders. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale. The sternum is going to lift up. Exhale, push your heels through the floor. Dig and dig. 3. Just going to flip so you guys can see me. 4. 5. Exhale. Support yourself in the forward fold. Hips stay behind you, knees stay together. Inhale, chest up. Exhale. We're going to skip the belly portion. Let's come into downward facing dog. Now from here, step forward with the right. We're coming into that warrior one that we did earlier. But let's talk about this for a second. Load up that back knee by bending. Exhale, explode. So no slack on the knee. Again, if you need to lift the heel, that's fine. Now, let's check in with the low back. Sometimes if there's some restriction here and we're trying to come upright, there's going to be some crunching in the low back here. All we got to do is keep the torso a little bit forward. I'm going to give you an arm variation here. So let's just set ourselves up normally. Take your arms out like a T. My right arm is coming under. So let me turn and face this way so it makes more sense. My right arm is coming under. We're going to grab the shoulder blades, or as close of an approximation as you can get. Okay. Come back into that high lunge position. Chest is leaning slightly forward. 5 breaths here. So your chest is a little bit compressed because of this hugging. I want you to try to breathe through the back. Imagine yourself getting really wide. Exhale, drop the elbows down. Inhale. Inflate your back. Exhale. Again, if you can wrap your arms, by all means. 3, 2. Give me a little bit more gas in that back leg. One more breath here. Inhale, release the arms. Exhale, down dog. My left foot's going to step forward. Make sure you're wide enough that you're stable. We're going to take the arms out like a T. So just like we did before, the left hand is coming underneath. Big circles here. We don't want to come straight across. Maximize the space in your joints. One more time. Exhale, circles. Grab your shoulder blades or the outsides of the arms. Exhale, dig through that back leg. Inhale, feel your back inflate. Exhale, more push with the back foot. 3 more. 2, 1. Inhale, start to release the arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, sorry guys. So from here, once we have the arms unwrapped, we're going to go into warrior 2. Giving your legs a little break there. Okay. Take your left foot forward. Lift the torso up. So same process applies here. If we have the knee that's rolling away from the arm, all I got to do, come a little bit counterclockwise. Roll the knee out into the arm. Let's take both hands to the waist. Inhale, roll the wrists, roll the elbows, roll the shoulders. Take a huge breath here. There's so much space. Exhale, press out through the heels of the hands. Again, if anybody works a lot at a computer, if anybody just lives, we need this stretch. Eyes to the front, middle finger. Three more breaths. Stay for the inhale. Okay, let's switch out the feet. Check out that lunge. If that knee is collapsing inside, I'll show you from this view. All I gotta do, walk that foot clockwise. Take the knee out towards the arm, towards the hand. Once your legs are settled, meaning that your knee is tracking over the middle toe, bring the hands to the waist, come upright. Wrist, elbows, shoulders. We got 3 joints to maximize our space. Let's use it. Wrists, elbows, shoulders, chest up. Exhale, press through the heel of the hand. If you feel comfortable, please close your eyes and then let your body sense where middle is based on an equal load through both hands. Once you've arrived, eyes to the front middle finger. 5 breaths. Three, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands down. Downward facing dog. And from here, have a seat. So, we're down on the floor now. I'm going to come a little bit closer so I can hang out with you guys. We're going to come into what's known as Dandasana. It's basically an L-sit. So again, we need to set this up. If there's a lot of restriction in the hamstring, if it feels like you're rolling backwards, all you got to do is pop the knees up. So let's go ahead and do that to begin with. I want you to latch onto your hamstrings, roll the shoulders, pull the chest up. Now with this elevation, I'm going to take my hands in front of me. Just as when we do on the belly, I want to squeeze my elbows in towards each other. It's fine if the hands go wide here. Once we have those elbows close, then everything, the chest and the hands, rotate. That semicircle comes up. Knuckles to the floor or heels of the hands. Chin in. You know the drill. 5 breaths. Keep your position. Inhale. Big circle with the arms overhead. Go ahead and kind of pull the arms out of the socket here. Exhale. This is critical for low back care. Make sure that the belly is touching the legs. If it's not crossing the distance, make the legs compensate. Bring the legs to you. So what I'm going to have you do is to go elbow to elbow. If we can't reach the opposite elbows, you can go wrist, you can grab the hamstrings, whatever you need to do to get the belly glued to the legs. Get those 2 pieces together. I'm going to grab my wrist here. Inhale, roll the shoulders, chest up. Exhale, tuck the chin. I'm using my arms to get my torso closer to my legs. 5 breaths. Three, 2. Keep your hooks. Inhale, roll the shoulders, eyes up. Exhale, take the hands back. Dandasana. This is that seated pose. This becomes our home base now when we're against the floor. So from here, what I want you to do, this is where we're going to use our blocks. Let me turn to face you guys here. So, sides of the feet. What I'm going to do is lean forward. I'm going to use the sides of the feet to stand up. From here, I'm pushing my hands. One leg goes out, then the other. I'm back down. Okay? From here, we're going to do one more posture, and then I'm going to take you into a back bend, and then done and dusted. From here, we're coming into a reverse plank. So we're going to set it up. Bring the knees in. I need your fingers to face your hips here. Now, if you don't know what the distance for your feet should be, then you can go ahead and use a block, and that'll help build that muscle memory there. So I'm kind of making a sandwich with my big toes around the block. Big toes, not the heels. From here, we're going to practice this shoulder action together. So I'm going to just let everything slump. My shoulders are up around my ears. My chest is sunk in. From here, I'm going to make a big roll backwards. And notice my elbows are bending. That's what you want. So roll, bend, inhale, pop the chest up through. One more time. Roll, bend, pop up. Now, you are welcome to stay here and practice this lift here. I want you to get those arms as extended into the floor. I'm actively pushing here. Maybe we can add the hips. Inhale. Again, roll the shoulders, push. Heels of the hands, heels of the feet. Again, roll, push. 3 more. 2. 1 more. Exhale, have a seat. Find your home base. Exhale, cross the ankles using the sides of the feet to stand up. Guys, one more quick checkpoint. If you are using the blocks, it's really important that the heel of the hand is in the middle and that you're using a 2-finger grip. If we're on the edge, obviously, if we go, then the block's gonna tip like so. So, from here, sides of the feet, lean forward, look where you're going. 1 foot, 2 feet, have a seat. Okay. We are going to come into a restorative bridge pose. So I'm going to let you do 1 of 2 things. Number 1 is just to take the legs up, just as a restorative posture here to get some drainage through the lymph system. Otherwise, if we're coming into the supported bridge, take the block. You can go in height 1 or height 2 underneath of the pelvis. So pop the hips up. If there's any discomfort in the low back, the block might be on the low back, and make sure that it's on the bones. Try shuffling it down more towards your butt. If it's still talking to you a lot, then just come off of the block and then take the legs up on the chair. So now we have no restriction here. I want you to take full belly breaths. One more. Lastly, if your legs are on the chair, feel free to keep them there. If you're on the block, start by bending the knees. Then we can take the legs up over towards the ceiling. Now again, if the hamstrings are really fighting you on this, just take the stress out, bend your knees. So I'm gonna take my hands either here at the knees so that the legs are supported, or if your arms will reach. I always lose sense of people with longer arms than me, so I can't reach super well here, but if you can support your thighs here with the arms on the floor, by all means. So all we're doing is letting gravity pull all of those fluids through the system. This is really super, super, super helpful for the immunity because everything drains in around the collarbone. So when it's cold, when everybody's passing all those viruses, you're doing yourself a favor just by hanging out here. One more breath. Exhale, move slowly, take one leg at a time. Pop the hips up. Come down off the block. Now, there's not any twists that follow this in the traditional Ashtanga sequencing, but if you feel any sort of tightness in your low back, what you want to avoid is that forward action, and rather just take the knees into the chest, go into the full fetal position, and then open that top arm up like a clamshell. It's fine if the shoulder doesn't touch, doesn't need to, but the hips do need to be stacked here. And then help neutralize by going to the other side as well. Clamshell first from the fetal position and then open up. once, twice, 3 times a lady, however many times you need to help reduce that strain in the low back. Hopefully, if we did all the bending of the knees we should have, then we kind of help stop that in its track. Okay, that's it, guys. We just rest. I'm gonna leave you here. Good work. Enjoy. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye.